Hi, I'm Selena,
And I'm Sarita.
and we're your in-house wedding planners for Ivy Wed. We're from New Levels Decor, and today we wanted to show you another DIY project that we'd love you to try. We're going to be doing a DIY program today.
Okay, cool. So the items we're going to need for the DIY program is a sheet of cartridge paper, preferably white, some tea bags, a paintbrush, a ruler, which is kind of optional, some mosquito destroyer, a 2-hole punch, and a lighter. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is boil the tea. Depending on how many invitations you're going to be making, you may need a big pot of tea, because what we're going to do is we're going to stain the cartridge paper in order to age it.
Okay, so we're going for an age defect here today.
Right, we're
Okay,
going for an age defect,
Good,
right?
good.
So I already boiled the tea, and you have to make it really, really black in order for it to have an effect on the cartridge paper. So I'm going to take my paintbrush, and I'm going to put it in the tea right here. So I'm going to go ahead and paint it on. And if you can see, it is already changing the color to like a yellowish color. You know, like the color, almost like the color of newspaper.
So kind of giving a distressed look, faded.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm going to paint the all of the cartridge paper. Get your edges and try to get everything. Don't be afraid to soak it. Don't be afraid to get it really wet, because it's cartridge paper and it's thick, so it won't tear or anything. Then we are going to hang this out to dry. You could just leave it on your floor if you had space, and it would dry. It would dry maybe in like about 15 to 20 minutes, right? Okay guys, this is what it looks like when it's dry. It's not perfect, as you can see here, but you don't have to worry about getting it perfect. You know, this is just real true vintage chic, shabby chic, right? So you don't have to worry about that. Alright, so the next step is to cut the paper into letter size squares. You want to help me, Sel, by getting a sheet of paper? Right, so we're just going to measure some letter size squares on our cartridge paper, and Selena is going to cut it out for me.
Okay, and the reason we're doing this is going to eliminate you going to an actual printery to have this done. So you can use the printer that you have at home or at your office if they allow you.
That's if you don't mind going to the printer. And if you have a calligrapher, then even better. It will look even more vintage and more authentic.
So we just cutting this out to regular letter size that it can feed through our printer here. Because we don't really know how to print different size papers on our printer. If it's possible, I have no clue.
Right.
So that's it.
So that's it. Then we're going to take this sheet of paper, and so after it's printed, we're going to take the sheet of paper and fold it in two. Once again, notice that what she did was basically freehand, right? So it does not have to be perfect, and we're making a 2-page program, right? Because it's a time-consuming process, and you don't want to, you know, make things harder for you.
But at least you can print back and front, right?
Right.
Okay, good.
And you can actually cut this down to any size that you want to cut it down to. So I'm actually, you want to cut it down for me? Cut it in two and then cut it smaller again for me. Cut some edges.
Oh, let me open it.
Right, so you're going to notice that you have some spots in it, and that's fine too. It does help to give it that aged look and that very chic look. So if you have a vintage theme wedding, this is the perfect program for you, right? So while Selena is doing that, I'm going to go ahead and use my mosquito destroyer. I'm just going to break off a piece off of the coil, and this is very inexpensive too, right? I'm going to burn him.
So the idea too is that it's gonna look like some old writings or something that you found from Christopher Columbus
That was
days, or
destroyed.
some ruins, maybe from the Titanic.
Right. So this just is an additional part of the aging process. So if you wanted, you could have it plain like this, but to this we are going to add aging, right? And this is actually what it looks like after you have printed on it, right? So this is when we've cut it down, we've printed back and front on it, and we're going to do a 2-page thingy, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn the edges. You're going to leave the top free, however, because you don't want it to burn down too much, because that's it, at the top is where you fasten the papers together, right? Okay, there's a lot of smoke happening here, guys, but don't worry about it. I hope you're not allergic.
Yeah, if you have bad allergies or asthma,
maybe this is not the project for you. But it's fun, guys. Alright, so I'm gonna just use the mosquito destroyer and just touch the edges and pull it along the edges for a natural look. Don't hold it too long on the paper because it burns for a little while when you touch it, you know?
Yeah, and don't let children get involved in this one.
No, this is not safe for kids, guys. Right, so I'm just pulling it along. As I say, it can be time consuming. So you want to do this like way in advance, and you want to get family and friends involved, right?
But it is fun.
Yes.
It may not look all that fun at the moment, but it's fun.
And what you can do, you can just put a little burn, you know, at the top, somewhere that you don't have writing, information at the back or the front, right? Lord.
Oh, that's cute.
And it makes it burn even more.
Well, that's good.
Okay, I think that these need to out. So this is it, guys.
That's good.
So we're going to do 3 sides. We're just going to leave the top so that we are able to fasten the 2 papers together, the 2 sheets of paper together. Alright, so the next step is to punch a hole with your 2-hole punch through both papers, right?
Okay, good.
Quick and easy, guys. Nothing fancy. And then we're going to use our twine. So we have some vintage looking twine.
And we use anything apart from twine?
Yes, you can use anything. Okay. You can use rat tail, you can use raffia, just about anything. If you wanted to work with this color scheme of your wedding, that would have been fine too, right? So I'm going to push the twine through the holes, make a few loops.
You can use a ribbon, right?
You can use a ribbon as well. You can buy a thicker cord or a thicker twine. Okay. You can use just about anything, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and put this through a few more times.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. A couple more times here.
So it'll be nice and secure.
Right, it's gonna be nice and secure. One more time for this end. Maybe I leave that one okay. Let's see. So we're gonna have a really nice program.
But couldn't you also do something like this one, invitation?
Absolutely, you could. You could make a matching invitation as well.
That would be nice.
Using this style, right? One more time, we're gonna go through the whole one more time, and then we are going to tie a bow in the front of the program. Here we go. We're gonna make a knot. Make sure it is secure.
Oh, that's luscious.
Yeah, make sure the bow is even here.
That's really sweet.
Okay, so this is the finished product. Hope you guys liked it. You know, it's nice and vintage and old and tattered and chic.
Yeah, man, Titanic chic is what I call it.
Yeah.